Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm going to try this video with natural light. So I don't have my desk lights on, and I'm really hoping that this is bright enough that we can see this and it looks okay. I'm going to be doing some watercolor. I'm in a watercolor mood. I did not properly clean things, so this is going to be a bit slapdash, I'm afraid. I have, this is the Faber-Castell. This is like a foldable cup. I will link all the watercolor products I'm using. I am using, I think this is the Richson porcelain palette. Porcelain is best for watercolors when you're doing palettes and painting. I'm going to be doing some very highly granulating light fast watercolors. I'm going to use the Mayberry Blue. This is Potter's Pink. And then I'm going to be using the Daniel Smith. This is Lunar Black. So if you're looking for a black that really heavily granulates, the Lunar Black by Daniel Smith is really, really nice. Plus, again, these are both light fast. So here's the black right here. And I have a couple browns. I was doing something else. I have lots of projects going on at the same time. And that's okay. So, a lot of Potter's Pink. This is a lot of fun. This is probably one of my favorite granulating watercolors. I don't own any of the other ones by Mayberry Blue. I don't own a lot of tubes. The tubes I own are granulating, and that's how I differentiate them from my pans. But this one I really, really enjoy. So, I have that going for me. Let's see. Again, I'm going to add some water. This is, I think this is meant to, it's by Zig Kiritaki, I think. This is meant to fill water brushes. This is 1 ounce. I don't know. I bought it because the pipettes I was using, my kids have taken for their science lab, so we do a lot of science for homeschool. So I am going to watercolor, I believe I'm going to do a gorilla, because that is what my son has requested. And sometimes I take requests. They love drawing. My kids do art different ways. So, and each of them likes a different amount of structure and style for what they're working on. What kind of brush I want? I'll use this one. So this is the Winsor Newton Cotman. This is a 3 round. I like the Winsor Newton Cotman brushes. They're very affordable. A lot of places carry them. I don't worry too much. If it gets destroyed, I can pick up a new one. Again, how long your brushes last depend on you. And, you know, how hard you are with them. And I'm definitely going to be mixing some pink with some black here. I love these colors. I can't. Okay. I've been on a huge black kick lately, and I've killed so many of my black pens that at this point I need to move on to other black products. So black watercolor, you know, black ink. I need to figure out other blacks that I can use. Okay, let's figure out. So they've got a tall head. Gorilla. Maybe I will try and negative space this a little bit. Anyway, they've got a brow ridge. How do you, gorilla? Anyway, how has your week been? I am not doing any sort of structured video. You know what I've decided? Okay, I will talk about something. And maybe that'll help you with some decisions you're making with buying and purchasing and owning art supplies. So I purchased a roll a while back of the Strathmore 500. It is the mixed media. It is the 100% cotton. It is their Strathmore's highest grade of paper. Let's see, I want an eyelid of some sort. And I really, really like the paper a lot. It comes bound in a hardbound and softbound sketchbooks. And I originally purchased a softbound and I filled it with a drawing challenge quite a while ago. I did March of the Robots, and I did animals that were endangered. And this is the Tomoe River paper. So it's gonna buckle and it's going to get wonky, and that's kind of part of its charm because of the coating. So if you're wondering like, what are you doing? Well, one, you have to go kind of heavy on the water for granulation, and two, this is a planner, it's not. It's just for fun, it's just for practice. Anyway, so I bought that huge roll. So we can talk about how I feel about this huge roll of paper. I like the paper a lot. I like it bound in a sketchbook way more than I like it in a roll. Let's talk pros and cons. So the pros of this obviously are price. You get a lot of paper in the roll. So you get a bang for your buck, and that paper does handle mixed media. It handles watercolor well. I did a layered watercolor colored pencil thing, so it got multiple layers of stuff and it did a great job. It handled it just fine. I will say, I mean, if you can get it on sale, then it's even more, like, it's even better. Anything you can get on sale below its, you know, MSRP price or whatever it is, you're doing good. Like, you're figuring out how to art supply the best way possible. But some of the negatives would be that, again, it's massive. So when I go to cut a piece of paper, I don't have a lot of surfaces that are that large that can handle it. So I have to put it on my floor, which is totally fine. I just have to sweep and mop. I do it on my office floor, is where I cut the paper. So I sweep and I mop because kids and cats and pets and things. And the paper's just a very stark white. It's not ivory, it's very white. So to stain a whole side with, you know, potential stuff isn't ideal. So it's kind of a process. It's not a quick, like, roll it out, cut, and then go back. I have to pre-clean and make sure everything's looking good. I don't want to wreck the paper. And again, it's on the floor, which is kind of, I can't leave it. I can't sort of set it and forget it. I have to roll it out, do all of my cutting and what I'm going to do, and then roll it back up and put it away, because otherwise it's really, really in the way. So it is not a practical thing if you don't have like a studio or a space where you can leave stuff out. And I don't have that kind of space. My office is built into our bedroom, so that's how I do this. So nothing can really ever be left out. Things have to be put away. So I have to make sure that I have time to get things out, to put things back. And that's where I'm at with that. So because it's kind of cumbersome and a little bit time intensive, it's not the most practical thing in the world. And I didn't think it would be, because I figured if I was ever going to own a roll of paper, I would have done it by now if it was super practical and made tons of sense. And there's a reason why I haven't. So it's big, it's massive. It's a beast. I don't mind. Again, part of the price saving and doing a low buy art supply and trying to keep to a budget is finding unique and interesting ways to keep my budget down and come up with creative solutions. And this was a very creative solution. Now, that being said, I have decided that what I'm going to do with the roll is I'm just going to cut it all up, all in one go. It doesn't make sense to constantly get it back out and then put it away. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just clean, get the roll out, and then just do all the cutting at once. And I'm going to cut everything to standard US size paper, so kind of 8.5 by 11-ish. I'm going to do a bunch of that. And then I'm just going to cut the whole thing up, and then I don't have to worry about having a roll that I have to get out. And then I'm going to flatten it all. That's the other thing, is because it's in a roll, and I don't know how long some of these things sit in their warehouses and shelves and stuff before they ship it out. The flattening time to sort of flatten things out, because I don't really tape stuff down. That requires tape and that requires more product. So I've just been sort of smushing it between books. Welcome to how I work. I smush between books, and that's fine, but it takes a while. So again, patience. And sometimes I have an inkling for something and I don't have any paper. Then I'm like, do I just go through one of my sketchbooks that's been sitting on my shelf for one illustration, one thing I want to do? So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the whole thing up and flatten the whole thing and just be done with the whole roll like that. And then I can just pull sheets and cut and trim and fold however I want. Because I also do birthday cards and stuff for people. I don't just do you know, projects and commissions with the paper. I do like gifts and stuff. So I thought that would be the best way to do this, so I'm not constantly getting it out. And I have to say, if you are someone that what is the best way to word this? If lifting things is really difficult, like if your wrists are very sensitive, if you suffer from like arthritis and carpal tunnel, a huge roll of paper, maneuvering that around, it won't be the most comfortable thing in the world. It just won't be. So I have to say that for some people, it's just not friendly. It's not a friendly product to differentiating abilities with your hands and your wrists and your arms. Maybe that kind of weight is just too much, you know? So it's not very inclusive to different folks, which is a bummer, because again, the price is really, really good for the quality of the product. That looks like a gorilla, right? Are you getting gorilla? I'm trying to give you gorilla. Anyway, a half roll would be cool. Like if it wasn't quite so long and they did a half, you know, at half the price would be awesome. I don't know if that is something they're willing to do, but I think that would be better for folks that have trouble with heavy, large items like that. Like that can be a lot. So those are some of the pros and cons of owning a huge roll of paper like that. Again, it is infinitely better for your pocketbook if you are trying to keep to a budget, if you're doing a low buy. However, just keep in mind that it is cumbersome, it is big, it is heavy, you need space for it, you need to be able to lay it out, you need to be able to flatten the pages, and that takes time. So, yeah. If you were on the fence about purchasing a product like that, I hope this gave you some ideas and some things to think about. If that's never occurred to you, and your wrists and hands and arms don't bug you, then maybe that is something worth considering, especially if you're like in a school system. A lot of schools and things have different budgets for art supplies, for classrooms and for art rooms and stuff. Sometimes large tables are provided. That could be very helpful for that product. So think about it, consider it. I hope this video helps. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you can see my gorilla. He's in here somewhere. They are such lovely animals. I will link some things about them if you want to donate. The African Wildlife Foundation is one of my favorite places ever to donate, and I will link them. So I hope your week's wonderful, and I will talk to you later. Bye.